Welcome to Navigate Part 9, a transitioning program for veterans and current serving, families, first responders, and allied health professionals. In the following presentations, we will slowly be working through 14 lessons to support you to successfully navigate into civilian territory. Today, we will look at lessons 4 to 7. So, we are going to explore the following. Lesson 4, choose your tools. Lesson 5, if you can walk, don't expect others to carry you. And Lesson 6, life can be an obstacle course. The first thing is to identify what tools you need to help you on your way, whether it's good nutrition or learning healthy ways to manage your stress, depression, and anxiety. On a personal note, I had read lots of books on running marathons and ultramarathons. I had read and created training schedules and eating plans. I'd bought the right gear, it felt good, but what I had not yet committed to was action. That is, getting my feet in the territory and accumulating kilometers, building my endurance, getting dirty and dusty, and developing a good mindset and ability to hit and move through the wall. So it's good to identify the tools you need, but knowledge is never a substitute for committed and disciplined action. If required, get the support you need to help you to get on your way. Change will not wait for you, nor will it turn back and come towards you. Try out some of the tools. Don't give up on them right away. Change does not happen overnight, and neither do miracles. It takes time. Be prepared to keep doing what you have chosen to do and keep going through the territory one step at a time. To summarize, point 1, identify what tools you need to help you on your way, whether it's good nutrition or learning healthy ways to manage your stress, depression, and anxiety. Point 2, remember that change does not happen overnight, and neither do miracles, it just takes time. And point 3, be prepared to keep doing what you have chosen to do and keep going through the territory even when change is not going as you wish. In Lesson 5, we will look at the importance of not always relying on others to carry you. Others may run with you and encourage you, but you alone are responsible for putting one foot in front of the other at the end of the day. A story I'd like to share is of Bill. His friends and his wife were excited and supportive of his desire to create change in his life following leaving the military. He began well, but could not sustain the challenges of change. He had a supportive network, and they encouraged him to see someone and get help. They recognized and affirmed the small steps he was taking. But in the end, Bill kept choosing to sit on the side of the road. Gradually, others became frustrated by his immobility and refusal to do something small and ask for appropriate help. His friends started to step away, and his wife began to experience a sense of hopelessness that created a distance between herself and Bill. Bill began to feel abandoned by everyone. He felt like a casualty. The bottom line is that a time clock can be ticking away in the background. Others will give you 100%, but that will change over time if you do not meet these people and walk towards them. Nobody can carry you over the finishing line if you are capable of walking or even crawling. They will walk beside you, but you need to be willing to walk with them. I've worked with veterans whose first step was to acknowledge their inability to move and admit themselves into a program or clinic or speak to a doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, veteran organization, or 24-hour crisis line. The bottom line is there's always something that you can do. So to summarize, others may run with you and encourage you, but you alone are responsible for putting one foot in front of the other at the end of the day. There is a limit to how many brownie points you have if you are capable of some independent action. Nobody can carry you over the finishing line. They will walk beside you, but you need to be willing to walk with them. Others will give you 100%, but that will change over time if you do not do your share of the work. And finally, if you are immovably stuck, you can still choose to speak to a doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, veteran organization, or 24-hour crisis line. So the bottom line here is that there's always something that you can do. In Lesson 6, we will explore the possibility that at times life can feel like an endless obstacle course. On the way to healing, you may encounter hills and obstacles. Stay focused on the journey, on the small steps, and remember that you were trained to go well beyond your comfort zone. The wiring is still there to draw on. Who you were as a warrior remains who you still are. So respect yourself, because life and others will not give this to you at times. Remember that you are never too old or wounded to deal with an obstacle course that life may bring to you. A story to illustrate this is as follows. Dave had been a Special Forces operator. As a result of an injury, he had been rapidly sidelined to a desk job. The trauma he experienced was not because of his operational experience, but because he felt discarded and abandoned by his tribe. He lost his connection with his brothers, and he struggled to redefine who he was. His was, in many ways, a moral, not an operational injury. He felt betrayed by his family. This went against everything he believed and stood for. It was only a matter of time before he was medically discharged, and he found himself completely lost and unprepared for civilian territory. A sense of failure and aloneness haunted him. From managing complex operational demands and diverse thinking and high-risk multitasking typical of Special Force operators, he was now accepting jobs well below his skill set. I have learned that there are those obstacle courses that are too complex to do on your own. Through appropriate support, you will be more able to reclaim who you were, respect and value those parts of yourself, manage the transition challenges you experience, and in time find a way for who you were to coexist with who you are now. It can be a very daunting obstacle course, whether you're currently transitioning or have just become aware 40 years later of the impact of that time of your life on your present. On a personal note, after my basic training, I attempted officer selection. This was a photo taken as I went over a section of the obstacle course. Following this, as I was going over a high wall, my shoulder dislocated from an old gymnastics injury, and I was unable to continue. This, however, opened the door to me completing the 3-month medics course and then joining my 4-man stick. This skill set me up to manage a number of situations in my life post-military. So in a way, every obstacle can be seen as an opportunity with endless possibilities. At the wall of our discomfort, we are invited to face and form who we are and can be. So to summarize, point 1, on the way to healing, you may encounter hills and obstacles. Point 2, stay focused on the journey, on the small steps, and remember that you were trained to go well beyond your comfort zone. And point 3, through appropriate support, you will be more able to reclaim, respect, and value who you were and now are, and in time find a way for who you were to coexist with who you are now. So in conclusion, give some thoughts to these 3 lessons. See how they can support you to create the change you wish, as well as manage the challenges you are currently facing. Remember to identify and use the tools and strategies that support you. Don't rely on others to do what you are capable of, and remember that life can be an obstacle course at times. But in the effort of discomfort, we have the opportunity to define who we are and, if needed, ask for help. Looking forward to seeing you all soon. Take care and goodbye.